Hello, my friends, and welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a channeled love message. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get one row of cards from this deck, and then I'm going to get a tarot card to confirm each channeled message. You'll know if it resonates, and I just want to mention something because I do post... I don't know why I'm so obsessed with this right now, but anyway. Clear quartz. Maybe you have to get your fingers on some clear quartz, or maybe this person has clarity. I just couldn't stop touching this little crystal. But one thing I want to mention is that I always say too much of anything can cloud your own vision and confuse you, and that goes for tarot readings, that goes for my tarot readings. I do tarot readings when I'm called to do them, and usually that's like twice a day. I feel called. Like you'll usually see me post 2 readings a day, and it doesn't mean you have to watch those 2 readings. When I do a reading, it's a message for, my intention is that it just hits the one person it needs to reach, and sometimes it hits lots of people that it needs to reach. But I know that sometimes, especially if you are in no contact with someone you care about, it can be, frustrating to listen to these readings and not be seeing anything in the 3D. And if you are feeling frustrated, then that is a sign to kind of take a step back and take a break, focus on yourself, redirect your attention to something else. I just wanted to say that because I know how that feels. I know how that feels. And just, again, keep in mind that these readings are for, if you want to watch every single reading, I'm here for it. I sometimes watch every single reader that I love, especially if you're someone who's learning tarot. Like for me, repetition is key. But if it's making you uncomfortable, or it's hurting your heart, or it's causing you frustration, then that is an indication that maybe it's time to, give yourself a little break, and that's okay. So I just wanted to mention that. Also, no, there's nothing else. Let's get into it. So I'm going to cut the deck. We have I'm afraid of what other people think, and we have commitment. So this could have been someone who didn't want to commit to this connection because they were worried about what other people would say, which makes me feel like there could have been some difference between you. So maybe an age difference or cultural difference. Maybe one of you is married. I'm just seeing someone caring about what other people think. And I've been there. I understand that energy. So whoever you're connected to could have been, afraid of other people's judgments, as silly as that, may sound to you. Maybe you're someone who doesn't understand that because you've never worried about what other people think. But there are people out there that really do worry about what other people think, and it can kind of sabotage their own lives, which is, sad. So I send them love and light. But yeah, let's get into it. So we'll shuffle. We have absence. I feel like a part of me is missing without you. So someone really feeling your absence. And I've been picking up on this collective that I've been channeling, where whenever I channel the energy, I start to get really cold. And that's this collective. Now, all of a sudden, it almost feels like I'm standing in a freezer, which is strange. I just had to feel my arms am I really in a freezer? We have broken. I feel shattered about this situation. And maybe if you're feeling cold, it's because this person seems to be feeling cold. They seem to be feeling quite broken. And maybe, the fact that they cared too much about what other people think is kind of eating away at them. And I'm hearing the people that they were caring so much about their opinion. So for example, I'll just use a friend for an example. So this person could have had a friend who didn't approve of this connection, or they thought their friend would make fun of them or something. And maybe this person is realizing that person isn't such a great friend. Why do I care what they think? Or maybe your person had something happen to them, and when they went to that friend, their friend wasn't there for them, and your person was like, why do I care so much about what this other person thinks? They're not even a great friend to begin with, or something like that was the example I was hearing. And we have mistakes. Woo, we've got some interesting energy coming out of your person's energy. Mistakes. I wish I could right my wrongs. So someone is definitely in regret here. Oh my. And again, a cold front. It feels like all of a sudden, it almost feels like there's a window open. That's how cold it is. We have reveal. I want to tell you the truth. And again, it's also, I have to mention that Mercury is about to go in retrograde if it hasn't already. I don't know about that planet stuff. I'm learning slowly. But Mercury is about to go into retrograde. So there is a lot of return energy right now. So just keep that in mind when you're watching tarot readings. You're probably going to hear a lot about returning people or people coming in. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, reveal. I want to tell you the truth. And I don't know if I will ever change. So some of the differences between you could have been like lifestyle differences, or this person could have had bad habits. This person could want to reveal to you that their fear is that they won't ever change, whether that is an unhealthy pattern they have, like something toxic that they do, whether that's their lifestyle choice, like maybe they like to party and be, that's weird. I'm hearing, is it Venga Boys? We like to party. That's what I was hearing. So maybe your person is a partier or a drinker. Maybe they just have some really deeply rooted patterns, and it's making me think of, you know, I'm sure she doesn't mind me bringing her up, but it's making me think of my sister who has like deeply rooted patterns and trauma. And she said to me this morning, like, why is it that my patterns and my trauma get worse as I get older? And I said, because they want to be healed. That's why your trauma, like your inner child wants to be healed. So that's why it's getting worse. But anyway, we'll see what comes out. So let's deep breath. I don't know why I just took a deep breath. Maybe your person needs to take a deep breath. But let's get into this reading. So what does your person want to say to you? We have understanding. I see your side of the story. And sometimes that's what, you know, a lot of time apart does. And sometimes it takes a while. It's making me think of, I was just watching like the Love is Blind reunion. And anytime I mention reality TV, I feel like I need to defend myself for some weird reason, even though nobody ever says anything like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you watch reality TV. But I feel like I need to defend myself in this, like, especially in this moment. So maybe your person was very defensive, for example, is the energy I'm feeling. But I was just watching like a situation on the reunion show where it took this guy a year to realize that he had made a huge mistake, and the person that he met on that show was the one that got away, and he, you know, was still in love with her, and it took him a year to realize that. So sometimes it can take people a long time to realize that. So if you have been, you know, away from this person for a while, maybe it's taken them some time to realize that. And the ego thought, the self-limiting belief is they should have seen my worth right away. And sometimes people's, you know, ego, trauma, unhealthy lifestyles keeps them from seeing these things. So it's not so black and white photo, black and white, so they see your side of the story, whatever your side of the story was. Only you will know what that side was. And maybe me when I get a tarot card to confirm it. Oh my gosh, that's exactly what I meant. Shadow side, you made me realize my flaws. So this person could have been very defensive, gray SUV. This person could have been very defensive about some of their shadow side. And that's, you know, again, our ego mind tells us, oh, that person's just defensive and they're, you know, they're not good for me. Which your ego's trying to keep you safe. right? This person, whoever they are, if you triggered their, like if you pointed out one of their flaws immediately, with unhealed people, or people with a lot of trauma and a lot of wounding, all of a sudden their ego activates and they get defensive. They're like, I don't have any flaws. And that's their ego trying to keep them safe. There's so much with relationships and energy and wounding that the Muggle mind just does not take into account and sometimes can't even comprehend. And that seems to be like part of what I do. And that's why I talk so much about it. That's why I try and challenge that limited way of thinking. It's programmed into us. And, a lot of people are still heavily programmed. People who are awakening and healing are working through that programming and healing it. And as you, become more enlightened, you start to see through that programming and those self-limiting beliefs. But a lot of people are still there. And that's why I like to talk about it so much. But anyway, they're understanding your side of the story. So they're realizing some of their own flaws here. And the fact that I'm putting this under the turtle, maybe this person is very slow, So you've made them, they understand the flaws. Excuse me, froggy in my throat, releasing, cleansing, healing. So you've made them realize some things they need to heal here. And maybe that was really difficult for them to confront, is what I'm hearing. Just because it's easy for one person to confront their shadows doesn't mean it's easy for someone else. And, I hate to use my family as an example, but that's where, it's what I've been healing from. And like my dad is very resistant to confronting anything about himself. I don't want to say he never will. Maybe your person has father wounds. Maybe you have father wounds, That's one of the first things my counterpart triggered was all my father wounds. All right, so let's get another card. How is your person feeling about you? What messages do they have for you? Indecisive. Another thing that comes from wounding. I have that wounding deck, and you know what? I'm going to take it out because the last time I said that, I didn't actually take it out. So like this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Blockage of the heart chakra, when I'm talking about, it's about energy. Blockage of the heart chakra, blockage of the throat chakra. So that mentality, if they loved me, they would be with me. If they loved me and they wanted to talk to me, they would talk to me, is not actually accurate when somebody has a blocked heart chakra and a blocked throat chakra. Anyway, I think I will get that deck I'll just put it right here so I remember. So the wound, like indecisiveness comes from a place of wounding. It comes from a place of trauma. And, I'm working through that with one of my own children because they inherited a lot of trauma from me because trauma is passed down in the womb is what I'm hearing. And I know my inability to make a decision hurts you. So this could be someone who had a really hard time choosing you over their friends' opinions, for example, or over their family or over someone else. Maybe they had a really hard time showing up in this connection or making decisions when it came to this connection. Maybe they're really indecisive when it comes to communicating with you. And maybe, maybe you're dealing with someone where they want to reach out to you, but something stops them because they're indecisive. And again, that all comes from a place of wounding. And I have a very indecisive child. And I've learned that when they hesitate and they say, I don't know, that means no. And I ask them, why is it so hard for you to make a decision? Why do you struggle with that? What are you feeling? What are you afraid of? I'm just laughing at myself because I'm kind of the parent that I wish I had when I was a kid, but I do have a lot of Full House could be symbolic because I'm a little like in that show, you know how Danny Tanner was like, there was always violins playing and he always wanted to help them and talk to them and like help them through their problems. I'm a little Danny Tanner in that sense. Maybe your person's name is Danny. But I said to them, what are you feeling? Like, what are you afraid of about making a decision? And they were able to tell me they're afraid of hurting people. They're afraid of disappointing people. They're afraid of making the wrong decision. So your person could have a wound when it comes to that. And I know there's an indecisive wound card in that deck. And again, that comes from childhood. So maybe your person, you know, made a decision when they were a child and they were punished for it. Or they made a decision when they were a child and they felt like, or in their life at some point, and everything like went wrong. Another thing that can happen is when somebody is raised with a parent who's always giving them like, well, do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? And I always use like my mother-in-law and potatoes as an example. She'd be like, well, what kind of potatoes do you want? We could make mashed potatoes. Would you rather have a baked potato? Would you like hash browns? Would you like this? Would you like that? Would you like it boiled? Would you like it this way? And it's just so overwhelming that it creates indecisiveness, or like an indecisiveness wound, if that makes sense. Anyway, we also have chaser on the bottom. So maybe this person, maybe you were chasing them. And maybe they were like very inconsistent or indecisive with you and kind of like avoidant or runner energy. Anyway, let's keep going. I think I'm digging the black and white imagery because there is that energy in this reading of like very black and white thinking. Or I keep talking about it. Let's get another one. We have third party and shadow side. And time, I'm afraid it's too late to take action. So again, I get a lot of people like who, and again, I'm not faulting you for this, but they say like, why won't my person reach out? Why aren't they talking? It's disrespectful for them not to talk to me. I'm sick of the silence. I'm sick of, you know, hearing that they're going to take action and then they don't. That can be, there's so many layers to what that could mean. So for some of you, like this person maybe had to learn some type of lesson from a third party interference. And I don't just mean love. I mean, like I was specifically hearing friend or family. There were other things that got in the way of us being together. So like just take the label of third party out because sometimes that scares people. There were other things that got in the way of us being together. So for some of you, I'm sure you're saying, yep, it was a third party. It was a person. But for others of you, it could have been like friend. It could have been family. It could have been work. It could have been their hobbies. It could have been their addictions. It could have been their ego. Like their ego could have taken on an entity of itself to try and protect their shadows. And maybe you knew what these things were that got in the way of this connection and you tried to tell this person, but they, you know, weren't ready to see it. It's also possible for some of you that whoever this is, they've had some sort of third-party lessons. So what I mean by that is like whatever you were saying to this person about their flaws or about their wounding, and I don't think that you, like the label flawed sounds so negative, right? I don't think you were looking at this person as they were flawed. I feel like probably you were looking at this person like, yeah, they have some things they need to work on. They have some wounding, they have some shadows. But it's possible that whatever you were trying to tell them about them, it's possible that someone else has now said the same thing to them. And now the light bulb's on. Oh, it wasn't just, oh, that person was right about me because now I have someone else telling me they see the exact same thing in me. Does that make sense? And then we have time. So I'm afraid it's too late to take action. So that's another thing that can stop someone from reaching out is when they're worried they've taken too long and they're worried about the repercussions of taking too long. The other thing I kind of want to mention is that if you are feeling impatient and frustrated, it could be because energetically you can feel them coming towards you, but it hasn't happened yet. You could also be picking up on their energy, their frustration. Like, why am I taking so long to say something? And just a shout out to neurodivergent people. Sometimes white truck, of course, the white truck drives by right now. Sometimes like people with neurodivergencies, especially if they don't know that they have it, they can put things off. They can push off a task. Like I can push off a task for months. Doesn't matter if the task is simple and it's easy. I used the example of doing my kids' report cards one year because, you know, I was homeschooling them, I still am. And it became such a big thing in my mind to my ego monster. It just like my ego saw it as such a huge thing that I needed to do that it became intimidating and overwhelming. And I kept putting it off, and I put it off for like 5-6 months. And then when I actually did it, it was like, why did I take so long to do it? Like it took me a couple of hours and then it was done and I felt better. Look at the sun coming out. How interesting. And we have reciprocity and commitment. I want to have equal give and take. And I did see commitment on the bottom in the very beginning. So let's just get one more card on the table and then I'll cram them all up there. Is that like, I'm afraid of what other people will think. And you could be counterparts, just because a lot of times counterparts, there's like societal differences. I'm hearing sexual orientation. So this person, like maybe they're not out, so to speak, and this is a same-sex connection, or there could be an age difference, or there could be like, again, you could work together. They could be worried about what their family thinks. And again, our ego mind that wants to keep us safe and protected, like a good friend should sometimes. There's a healthy amount of ego, but our ego wants to keep us safe. So our ego says, well, they shouldn't care what other people think. But that's one of those very black and white concepts that, well, they shouldn't care about what other people think. Do you know how long it's taken me to not care about what other people think? And deep down, I still do struggle with caring about what other people think of me. So it's not that easy, is what I'm hearing. I need to make sure this is in alignment. We also have, you're a better person than I am, unworthy. And I did a reading today. I don't know when either of these will be posted because I do them when I'm called to, and I post them when I'm called to post them. But this unworthiness can stop someone from taking action. This unworthiness, especially if it's, you know, and I never gender, but especially if this is someone who like feels emasculated by you. And what I mean by that is maybe you're better off in life. Maybe you make more money. Maybe you did kind of shine a light on their shadows and they felt, it's not that you were emasculating them, but maybe they felt your power and they realized they don't have that same type of power. Maybe you're more healed than them. There's so many reasons why this person probably isn't coming forward right now. Mistakes. They could have made a lot of mistakes. And now they're realizing their mistakes and their flaws, and it's becoming like a bit of a mountain. Like, how the heck am I going to make amends for this? Because it can be, again, it may be simple for you to just apologize to someone. It's like, I talk about this with my friend Michelle, about how what's easy for me can be difficult for someone else, and what's easy for someone else can be highly difficult for me. You know, like I myself can't imagine, like this one, making a lot of mistakes and being afraid to own up to those mistakes. But that's me. I'm different than other people. There are other people out there who have a really, like my dad, who have a really hard time admitting their mistakes and owning up to them. And And again, that just comes from their layers that they need to heal and their wounding. It doesn't mean, I don't know where I was going with that, but anyway. So the fact that we have unworthy, it feels like this person is lacking confidence to come towards you for whatever reason. And that unworthiness, that lack of confidence can keep us stuck and stagnant. And that's again why it's not just as easy as if I wanted to talk to you, I would. Especially again, if there's like neurodivergency or like maybe your person's autistic or maybe there's so many factors that it could be, is my point. Anyway, I'm rambling a little, so I'm going to grab a tarot deck. I shouldn't say rambling, I should say channeling, because I shouldn't be hard on myself. So what deck do I want to use here? I kind of want to see how this person is feeling first, because I'm nosy. We have rejection. So irrational fear, and that's exactly what I mean. This person has an irrational fear about coming towards you. And I know to you, it's probably like, if they came in and said they saw my side of the story and wanted to right their wrongs, I would hear them out. But maybe to them, that's not their perception. Maybe to them, they have an irrational fear. And irrational fears come from fragmentation of the soul. They come from wounding. They come from trauma. Again, my poor little child who, you know, it makes me sad that they have this wound inherited from me of this irrational fear about making decisions. And it may, again, those irrational fears may not make sense to me, but they make sense to the other person. Does that make sense? So fear of rejection and unworthiness. Like clearly whoever this is, they need to work on themselves, right? And that's why I understand the frustration of, I want it now. Like I understand, I'm seeing Veruca Salt from Willy Wonka, but I want it now. I understand that. Patience in me. But it looks to me like whoever this is like feeling super insecure and needs to kind of work on themselves or heal so that they believe that they can do this. We have, as I was saying that, we have nourish, self-growth, self-focus, soul-finding. That's exactly what your person needs to do here. Because right now they are in distorted energy. They're cloudy judgment. So clearly this is someone, who needed or needs time to do a little bit of soul searching, right? And that takes time. That doesn't happen overnight. One of my favorite readers always talks about the fact that years and years and years of wounding and trauma and living in that like black and white self-limited beliefs and programming, that doesn't change overnight. That takes years. It takes years to heal. And I don't mean that your person will take years to come back to you, because I already felt like a bit of anxiety when I said that. But it does take time. Now I'm hearing that George Harrison song again. It's going to take time, a whole lot of patience and time. It's going to take time to do it right. So we do have elusive, but it came out on bitterness. So maybe, we have resentment, anger, hurtful words. So this person could have, to me, when someone is resentful, like resentment, anger, and hurtful words, it's because they're triggered. And again, I am not saying it's okay that they were triggered and maybe reacted that way. But I understand where it comes from. It comes from a very wounded and egoic place. So this person, some of the regrets they could have are because there were hurtful words spoken. That could also be what this person is afraid of. They could be afraid that you're very resentful towards them, and that if they were to come towards you, that you would reject them or be angry with them. And again, please, I am not here to excuse your person's behavior. I am here. I just heard to be a voice of reason, but I'm here to try and help you understand the many layers that are here energetically, if that makes sense. Now I'm seeing Shrek and Donkey. I love Donkey. Donkey was awesome. We have only you, and then we have resistance. So that's exactly what I mean. It's like they feel devoted, attached, craving you, but they're resisting it. And I feel like it could be hard for them to resist that. Suppressing their feelings, suppressing their emotions. And I keep hearing someone's ego in this reading. I don't know whose it is, but it's like this little voice saying, you know, well, if they loved me, they wouldn't suppress it. If they loved me, they would, anyway. I don't know why I keep hearing ego. Either that's someone I'm channeling that's watching this, or that's your person. Like, I could see the fact that I'm talking so much about ego. It could be that your person has a very strong, like, ego voice in their head. Or like, I'm almost seeing, like, angel on one shoulder, devil on the other. It's almost like when your person thinks about you, their little ego is like, well, they hate you. They resent you. You hurt them. You're awful. You're scum. Like, really hard on them. All right, so I'm just going to get a few to see how your person is feeling. We have confusion, uncertain, reminiscing. Oh my goodness. Hoping. All right, so stress, silence. Yep. So we have confusion, uncertain. So how are they feeling about this connection? They're feeling unsure about the future. They're feeling unsure if you would ever take them back, which again, I need to stop repeating myself, but that type of confusion can stop someone from reaching out. We have memories, reminiscing, dwelling, bittersweet. This is Six of Cups energy. So this is the energy of someone who wants to reach out, someone who wants to reconnect, but maybe they don't know how right now, or maybe on a healing and like soul level, they're not ready. And I always say to people, the fact that my dogs just started like meh, 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 I do feel like your person has a very strong like negative voice in their head, which again, that negative voice comes from someone else. So probably a parental figure who was always like putting them down or telling them they weren't good enough. And as someone who had that negative voice in their head, you can't just make it go away. You need to retrain your brain. And I know that some people through healing and awakening and advice from like other healers are able to reprogram their brain. But I had to use cognitive behavioral therapy or whatever my therapist did with me, where she taught me how to rewire my brain and my thought process. Anyway, what was I saying? Six of Cups energy. So you've definitely got someone here wanting to reach out to you. I know what I was going to say. So when you are like, think about it this way, when you're losing patience about this person reaching out to you, or you're feeling that fear, like that little voice in your head, like maybe they just don't love me. Maybe they never loved me at all. Maybe this, maybe that. Think about it this way. Would you rather have, and I say this quite a bit in some of my readings, but would you rather have this person come in this insecure, defensive, confused energy so that they can just, be defensive and confused with you? Or would you rather them do some soul searching and come in a more healthy, balanced way? And here's where I'm hearing ego again. I'm hearing they're taking too long. I'm running out of time. I want to have children. I'm almost past the age of being able to have children. They've already taken this long. Again, that's all ego. And everything that I'm talking about, that's distorted energy. Like that worrying about time, That's distorted masculine energy, and we all have feminine and masculine energies within us. Oh my gosh, Spirit, why? Why is this reading like this? I channel these messages from source. And in my ego mind, when I sat down to do this reading, I was like, oh, it's just going to be a channeled message, and I'm just going to get a row of cards, and then I'll get a confirming tarot card, and it will be quick, and it will be straightforward, and it will be easy. But there's something about challenging ego in this reading. Like, I was not expecting it to turn out like this. So we have stress. So this person is very stressed out right now. Again, there's a reason if you feel like they're going to reach out and you keep getting that message, you know, you need to allow it to happen when it will happen, allow in divine timing. And again, you need to think, if they're not reaching out now, there's a reason, and it's because I'm being protected from this confusing energy. Because I do, like, it's almost like your person, like the way that these cards came out, it's like confusion, love, stress, hope, silence. Like it's almost like there's two really nice energies here, but it's surrounded by like fear and ego and insecurity. And maybe they have a lot going on in their life. The other thing I'm seeing is maybe they're hoping you're going to reach out to them first, which, you know, again, the first thing I want to say is it goes back to that message of, would you rather have this person come in a more stable, confident, clear energy, or would you rather have them come in confused, stressed out, still a bit quiet? So that's what you need to think of when you're thinking about chasing and reaching out, is that you need to ask yourself, like, yes, this person is hoping that you're going to reach out to them. But when you do reach out, you may find them still in this very like confused energy. And I don't think that they're going to be there forever, because this is someone, the light is on, right? The light is on. They're aware they're taking too long. They're aware of the time now. Like, they're thinking about that time. And again, that's also distorted masculine energy. But yeah, that's what we have that's what we have out of that deck. So let's get back to this reading. Oh my goodness. So what tarot deck do I want to use today for you? I want a thin one. That's the same width of the cards, that's for sure. What do I want? I kind of want, since I was feeling cold, let's get this one. Okay, so this is a winter deck. That's why I chose it. And let's see how your person is. I'm going to get a clarifying card for each message. We have the moon on the bottom, uncertainty. Exactly. Confusion and uncertainty. This is someone, like, I feel like they are starting to look at their shadows, especially with that moon. They're starting to explore those shadows. And, you know, they are feeling uncertain about if you would take them back. They're feeling uncertain about the future of this connection. We have the world. So this person very much is feeling at a distance from you. So let's see what's happening. Temperance. The sun went away. I'm almost seeing the Firefly card in that animal deck that I love to use. The fact that the sun was here and now it's gone, the fact that I'm talking about like ego, like I was talking about devil on one shoulder, angel on the other, it feels like your person, Firefly energy, they could be feeling like little hits of inspiration or little moments where they get like a little bit of courage where I could reach out, and then it just quickly dissipates is what I'm hearing. Seven of Pentacles, waiting for the right time. They're waiting for the right time to come in. And, you know, I kind of want to tell your person, like, I want to, that does take strength. Like if this person is thinking about, I want to offer this person something stable, I want to offer them commitment, so I don't want to go in before I'm ready to do that. That takes strength. But I also almost want to say to your person, like, you don't need to be perfect and you don't need to like have it all figured out. You just have to have some of it figured out is what I'm hearing. All right, I didn't shuffle those very much. Interesting. We have Six of Swords. So like this person, they want to reconnect with you. Six of Swords is repairing after a disconnect. Six of Swords is about wanting to move into calmer waters. For some of you, this person could feel like you've moved on without them, and that just feeds their fear. We have the King of Pentacles. This person's afraid they're taking too long. Oh my goodness. They're definitely worried about how long they're taking. This could have been someone, you know, again, who was insecure about their finances even, is what I'm hearing. Maybe you're older than them. But let's see, what are they understanding? Spirit, what are they understanding? We have the Five of Pentacles and the King of Swords. There's something about their coldness. They're understanding what they need to heal here with the Star. There's something about their coldness. There's something about rejection here. There's also something about like a lack mindset. So this person could have had like a lack mentality, especially when it came to money. But the King of Swords, this could have been someone who had, I'm going to say what I'm hearing. So I see your side of the story. There could have been something about their communication that left you feeling very left out, cold, rejected. I love that that card came out actually, because I said I was getting cold. So they could be aware that some of the ways they spoke to you, or whatever the last point of contact is, they actually left you feeling very rejected and very left out in the cold. The other thing I'm seeing with the King of Swords is, what did you say to this person? Because the King of Swords, to me, there's this energy where the King of Swords is very, like, it's about truth and clarity. But one of the shadow aspects, and I'm looking at this shadow card, one of the shadow aspects is someone who has a hard time taking accountability. So this person, like, what did you say to them? Because I feel like something you said to them, maybe they had a really hard time taking accountability for it. And now they're seeing whatever it is that you said to them. They're seeing your side of the story. Gray SUV. They're seeing your side of the story. And there could have been, like, you could have felt really rejected by this person. Or they could have rejected you, or they could have cut you off or ghosted you in some way, right? It's a very cold energy. And this is what's coming out to confirm I see your side of the story. So maybe in the connection or during the breakup, separation, you felt a coldness from this person. You felt kind of rejected. You felt a detachment from them, if that makes sense. So that's what we have coming out for that one. Something they needed to heal, I think. You told them something that you think they needed to heal. Maybe you told them. The King of Swords is also very truthful. So maybe you said you truth bombed this person, or you said something very true that maybe they didn't want to see the truth, but now they're seeing the truth of it in themselves. And that's what I was talking about with this energy. Anyway. Now I'm hearing the song, You Didn't Have to Cut Me Off, by whoever sings that. Starts with a G, don't know how to pronounce it. And, maybe for some of you, it took cutting this person off and detaching from them to get them to realize your side of the story. So what is this indecisiveness about? Indecisive. What are they indecisive about? Oh my, we're interesting. We have the Queen of Swords here. So for some of you, and this won't be for all of you, I was hearing they could have been very indecisive about cutting off an ex or cutting off like someone else in their energy, a friend, whatever. Take that as it resonates. My inability to make a decision hurts you. So their inability to make a decision somehow was causing you, like, I don't feel like they were giving you your worth, or how can I put that? For some of you, I'm hearing that what you thought was like, it could have appeared manipulative, but it was just, it came from a place of indecisiveness. So you could have thought like this person was manipulating you, but it came from a place of indecisiveness, but that won't be for all of you. I also feel there's something about the fact that we have these two counterparts together, the King and Queen of Swords, that this person, you know, knows that their inability to communicate in an authentic way, or their inability to look at this logically, or their inability to be honest, or whatever it is, hurts you, and that you deserve better with that Queen of Swords. We have the Four of Wands. So for some of you, it could be like, and again, this won't be for all of you, but for some of you, this could be that this person is connected to another relationship where they were indecisive about whether or not they wanted to cut it off completely to be with you. Again, that won't be for all of you. Let's go third party. What got in the way of this connection? What got in the way of this connection? Family, 10 of Pentacles, family. And we have the Sun, their ego, which is what I was saying. I said their ego. I said it could have taken on an entity of its own. Like, you know, what am I thinking of? I don't know what that is. So I don't really know what I'm seeing. I'm seeing, it could be the wave in Moana. But I'm like seeing, you know how the wave in Moana like takes on an entity where it like communicates with her, and like this, it looks like a person. That's what I'm seeing their ego doing. So it feels like for some of you, their ego took on an entity of its own within this connection. Healing, unhealed wounds. This person not willing to heal and look at their shadows could have gotten in the way of this connection. Their lack of clarity could have gotten in the way of this connection. And again, family, 10 of Pentacles. And I don't just mean like, I'm not talking about how dare their children and family get in the way of this connection. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the opinions of others. I'm talking about like maybe they were busy with their family, or maybe family wounds from their childhood, or maybe their parents' opinion, or their child's opinion. Like, take it as it resonates. So let's see what these shadows are. So what did you make them realize? Whoa. So we have the Two of Wands. Very interesting. The other card did like a very dramatic flip in the air, hit me, and then fell on the floor. We have the Two of Swords. So what did you help them realize? You helped them to realize what's keeping them stuck, whatever that is for you. It's a collective reading, so it's going to be different. You help them realize the trauma that keeps them stuck. You help them realize that maybe they are afraid to make a choice or a decision. You made them realize that maybe they did make some, you know, decisions that weren't the greatest in the past. What else? The Two of Wands is about patterns. Or to me, I always see the Two of Wands as changing your approach. So what did you help this person realize? You helped them realize they need to change their approach, because maybe some of these patterns that they were unwilling to see in themselves is actually keeping them stuck in life and from moving forward and growing and evolving. I feel like your person has a hard time leaving their comfort zone, making decisions, planning for the future, looking at their own patterns. Did I already mention that? Anyway, what else did you help them realize? Let's take a look. It's in the book. What else did you help them realize? denial. So they were in denial of their shadows. That's something you made them realize, is that they were just denying these shadows, that those shadows were always there. They've just been not denying them. I also keep slurring my words, so your person could have an addiction for some of you. Whenever that happens to me in a reading, I know I'm channeling at least one person that has a problem with alcohol. It takes one to know one. 16 years sober. Anyway. So, lack of long-term prospects or ideas for the future, bad planning, overanalyzing, not taking action, avoiding risk, playing it safe, identifying what is important to you. Like these are all things that you've kind of directly or indirectly made this person realize about themselves. So maybe this person never envisioned a future before they met you, and you kind of activated that layer within them that all of a sudden, as they heal, they're starting to envision a future. Do you know that people who suffer with mental health problems have a really hard time envisioning a future? That's fact. And it's because they're not in the mental, like they're not in the mental headspace to envision a future. All right, time. I'm afraid it's too late to take action. We have the King of Wands. So this person is the King of Wands is about taking action. I just want to see if one other one flipped out. No, I thought that one was going to flip out. What are you? Four of Swords in reverse. That's the other one that wanted to flip out. So Four of Swords in reverse is about release from isolation. So it's like perfect. Those are perfect cards. I almost said that's perfect cardage, but I know that's not a word. For I'm afraid it's too late to take action, because Four of Swords is about coming out of isolation, coming out of that quiet, silent energy. And King of Wands is having the confidence to take that action. So this is showing me, King of Wands, I'm afraid it's too late to take action. This person does think about taking action, and maybe right now they're lacking the confidence to do so. We also have the Four of Wands. So maybe for some of you, you're in another relationship now, or you're married to someone else now. Let's see what this, I'm afraid of what other people will think. 333 on the timer. Oh my gosh, Spirit is magical. It's not even on the timer. I never look at the time when I'm channeling because I just don't care. This is what I love to do. But my guides were just like, look at what time it is. And I looked over and it's 333, which 333 support. Funny how I'm talking about what other people will think. So maybe this person feels like they don't have other people's support when it comes to this connection. Sometimes that happens too. Like if you are dealing with someone who has a hard time taking accountability, I'm feeling called to mention this, that this person could have badmouthed you to everyone. Like anyone that was close to them, they could have like badmouthed you and said it was your fault that this connection didn't work. Especially with, I see your side of the story. They could have been so in their story that they might have like said some things about you that made the people around them not approve of this connection. It's a thing that happens. So I'm afraid of what other people will think. Why do you keep... Listen, I have to mention that these cards keep wanting to run away from me. They shuffle out and then they like jump across the table, or they fall on the floor, or, I feel them trying to get away from me. Anyway, so I'm afraid of what other people will think if I reconnect with you, if I come towards you. Six of Swords. And then we have the Devil in reverse. So that shows that this person is starting to release those fears. They're starting to release those attachments to what other people think. They're starting to take control here, which I love. They're starting to take control of that ego. So now, after all that talking, I know. I feel bad whenever someone's like, it's so hard to get through your reading because you talk so much. I understand. Believe me, I'm like, I understand. But anyway, let's get into, I just want to do an energy check for them. So Spirit, show me actually. Spirit's telling me to start with an animal deck. So Spirit, show me this person's energy that I'm channeling. Not my viewer, but the person they're connected to. Interesting. I'm seeing a lot of curious animals, like a lot of animals, like I just saw the otter and I saw the rabbit. So a lot of animals that, like, you know, like a meerkat, is that what you call it? A meerkat? Like Pumbaa? No. Timon in The Lion King? An otter, a rabbit. You know when they, like, they're curious about something or they hear something, so they, like, stand up on their hind legs and they look around? That's what I keep seeing for your person. So there is a bit of a curious energy about them, like curious what you're up to, curious if you'd reject them. Interesting, we have the hawk, winds of change, messenger of divinity. So this person is getting like messages from their higher self about coming towards you perhaps. So let's see this person's energy that I'm channeling. Not my viewer, the person these messages are from. So what is their energy? What is their energy? That is really good, my friend. That makes sense. That makes total sense. So this is both your person's energy. I took both of them because there's a message here. So your person right now, very determined, destroyer of obstacles. So right now in their current energy, they are working through obstacles that are keeping them from coming towards you. And look at this. I think this is very important because this elephant is still holding a flame. So I do believe that this person still holds a flame for you, still has love for you, still, you know, holds a place in their heart for you. What's really interesting about this energy, though, is that even though they're in this energy of like destroying obstacles and getting over hurdles in their life and overcoming fear and overcoming their ego and all of those things that I've been talking about, overcoming their shadows, wounding, the fish shows that there's a bit of hot and cold energy here because we have fire and we have water. And the fish, I haven't gotten the fish in a long time, but one of the energies that I do know of the fish is that it can lose its way. And it kind of needs, like, the universe kind of needs to keep putting this person back on the right path. So I feel like whoever this is, you know, could be easily distracted. And I was seeing the dog in the movie Up that, you know, clearly has ADHD, and he'll be mid-sentence and then he'll say squirrel and he'll completely zone out and become distracted. The fish energy is like the energy of a fish following the flow, but sometimes it loses its way and it almost needs to be redirected back into alignment. So what I am seeing here is that the destroyer of obstacles, it could be that as your person veers off alignment, the universe puts a tower in their way to try and get them back into alignment. Anyway, that's what I was seeing for your person. I hope this is still recording. I just had this fear that it wasn't recording. So let me just confirm. And I also want to look at what your person could be struggling with this energy. When out of balance, misunderstands fate. So this person could be misunderstanding that this is a fated connection, or misunderstanding that some of the things that were happening to them were fated. To bring into balance, trust. So this person is trying to trust in themselves, trust in this connection, trust in their own judgment rather than the judgment of others. Again, it also talks about if you feel stuck, rest assured the path will soon become clear. So if you feel stuck, my friend, rest assured that this person's path and vision towards you will soon become clear. And the fish, which again, there's a very interesting message here. I haven't gotten the fish in a long time. Restlessness, change of focus, lost in the current. And that's exactly what I was talking about. It's like this person is like It almost reminds me of, I don't know, your person could have ADHD because I keep hearing things about like traits of ADHD. So one of them is like someone can become hyper focused on like shadow work, for example. And then after like a week and a half of shadow work, they kind of get restless and they lose that hyper focus they had, which is interesting because this card is about being very focused. So it's like this person is very focused on you, but sometimes they get distracted. Sometimes they let their ego get in the way. Sometimes they let life get in the way, or the other people's opinions get in the way. And there is a message here that whenever your person gets distracted, it's like the universe is setting obstacles in front of them to try and redirect them back into the current, back into flow, back into alignment. To bring into balance, set a small goal and accomplish it. So this person is like taking baby steps or setting small goals for themselves when it comes to, their own journeys. I do think they're healing. All right. So let's just confirm their energy with tarot. So show me this person's current energy. Oh, that is so interesting. So we have, yes, I'm so happy to see this. And we have the Hierophant, learning spiritual lessons, possibly spiritual ascension. So very interesting energy we have here, my friends. We have Knight of Wands in reverse, and we have the Ten of Swords in reverse. So their current energy, they are learning lessons. They are healing, and I love to see it. There's also an energy that this person does want to reconnect with you. They do want to put this connection back together. So again, I think that our ego can tell us that, oh, they haven't reached out to me in so long, they must not think about me. And that's just not what I'm seeing here. So their current energy, Ten of Swords, maybe they've recently had an ego death, for example. Survival, improvement, healing, lessons learned. It also says relapse, which makes sense with the elephant and the fish. I feel like sometimes this person is on the right track and then at times they relapse. Maybe your person had a drinking problem, like I said, and they went through a relapse and they didn't know how to tell you, because thinking back to the very first card that we started with was, I want to tell you the truth. So this person does want to tell you the truth. We have healing from past. So this person is healing things from their past, and it talks about wanting to put a relationship back together. And the Knight of Wands is, to me, very interesting, because all cards to me are interesting. All energy is interesting, and I'm autistic and I lack more words than interesting, but I've embraced the word interesting. There is an energy where your person is healing from their fear of commitment. Because I do feel like your person feared commitment, or feared what, I'll say that and people will be like, well, then why did they go marry someone else? Well, that person probably didn't challenge them. When I say commitment, I'm talking about soul commitment. I'm talking about the lessons you're meant to learn. And so this person could have had a fear of that commitment, of like committing to healing, committing to shadow work kind of thing. The other very interesting thing about this Knight of Wands is I'm seeing a pop bottle being shaken. So it's like, energy-wise, your person is full of all this energy and momentum that it's like building up because they're not taking action. And I'm seeing the image of like shaking a can, and then all of a sudden something's like, it starts to become, the can starts to like deform and bend until you pop the top and release that energy. So the Knight of Wands talks about the fact that your person is full of this momentum, full of this energy, pushing them forward. And they need to channel that energy. They need to do something with it. And that's why we've got this person looking at their watch. The other beautiful thing about this card is in reverse. It's on page 99. So your person is nearing some sort of completion of a cycle, which yay them. But it talks about the Knight of Wands has worked on themselves internally. Now is the time to apply the lessons they have learned to move forward and to take action towards the things they want to take action towards. So there's like double confirmation that your person is learning lessons here. And the momentum is building is what I'm hearing. It also talks about encountering obstacles, which the elephant makes sense. So let's just confirm how they're feeling about you to ease your troubled mind. How does this person truly feel about, I almost called you my person. I'm a little bit protective of you, apparently. How does this person feel about my person, my friend? How does this person feel about you? How do they truly feel about you? King of Pentacles, like they're taking too long. That makes me laugh. I find a lot of humor. I find spirit funny. Like sometimes spirit can be funny. But anyway, King of Pentacles. So they do see commitment with you. There's also this energy of wanting to protect and provide for you long term. So like back to what I said about insecurity, if this is someone who can't even afford their own rent, then their ego, of course, is stopping them from coming towards you because they're, they want, soul ties. I always feel connected to you. Interesting. But they want to be able to protect and provide for you. And maybe like this person is being realistic about the fact that they don't have money to protect and provide for even themselves. And I'm not saying you care about that. Anyway, I don't know what these cards are, but 3 came out. We have the 7 of Swords in reverse for how they feel about you. I'm done running. Like this person doesn't want to run anymore. They don't want to hide anymore. They don't want to run away from their shadows or the healing they need to do. This isn't someone who wants to like play games with you anymore. We have the 2 of Cups. Oh my goodness. So there is something about coming out of darkness and having an honest conversation with you here, which could be like if you're feeling frustrated, maybe you feel their energy wanting to have that conversation. So it's almost like your energy is anticipating it and then it doesn't come. And we have the 9 of Swords in reverse, which is about this person wants to alleviate their stress by talking to you. Remember how I talked about when I finally did those report cards? The stress was just like, wasn't there anymore. So this person does want to reveal something to you. They want to get something off their mind here. The 7 of Swords in reverse also talks about getting something off their conscience. Let's look at their intentions. We have the Queen of Cups. So that's a lot of effort. Their intention, yeah, exactly. 6 of Pentacles. I was just about to say the Queen of Cups is a giver. So for intentions, they want to give you energy. They want to give to you. They want to fill up your cup. Their intentions are to follow their intuition. And when they feel like they can give to you, they're going to give to you. The 6 of Pentacles, what some people don't understand, and like I'm looking at myself right now as well, that sometimes when someone can't give to you the way you're giving to them, it's because they haven't yet met themselves, if that makes sense. The 6 of Pentacles is an energy where I have enough love and confidence and energy to give to myself that it overspills and I'm able to give to others without it emptying my cup and me becoming resentful and me becoming like, I'm more so thinking about your person, avoidant or scared or whatever. So, maybe your person is intending to come in once they know they have enough to offer you. When they can give you equal give and take and reciprocity, which I don't know if I showed it, but I saw that card in the channeled messages. Let's see what action this person is planning on taking. What action are they planning on taking? Knight of Swords. So that is action. That's sudden action. So it's almost like this person is planning, and I'm going to ask what action they will take. But what they're planning is they have all this stuff they want to say to you, and they're planning to say it when they feel inclined to do so. And what I mean by that is this is a very impulsive energy. So for actions your person plans to take, it's almost like I'm hearing them. I'll reach out when it feels right. I'll reach out when it feels right is what I'm hearing. And maybe it feels right for you right now, but maybe it doesn't for them. Knight of Swords is also very impulsive. So back to that ADHD thing. I'm picking up a lot of ADHD energy in this pile. So they do plan on taking action. Lots of action. Sudden action. And we've got the Ace of Pentacles on the bottom. So they are planning on coming towards you with a stable offer. So that's the action they plan to take. So it's almost like they're saying, when it feels right, I'll do it. And now I'm hearing that, I started hearing that song, if it feels good, do it, even if you shouldn't. Anyway. So let's see what action they will take. What action will this person take? We've got the Queen of Pentacles, which means they want to nourish this connection. They want to, nurture this connection. They want to offer commitment here. We've got the 10 of Cups on the bottom and we've got the 10 of Wands, which to me, the 10 of Wands is a sign of progress and that there's about to be completion. So what, and remember the 99, the Knight of Wands in reverse. So for actions, this person is going to put these burdens down, and like I'm saying it in air quotes because I'm hearing come home. The 10 of Wands, usually you see someone coming home or returning home after a long journey. We also have 10-10 here, which shows, you know, Wheel of Fortune energy, 10. So this person making adjustments and actually coming in towards you. I just want to look at the Queen of Pentacles because I don't know. I'm hearing proposal. So this person is, let me look at the 10 of Wands too. Again, when they're ready to put those burdens down, like all of those burdens this person is carrying, they'll be back. Lots of affection. Very interesting. So it's looking like this person is going to come towards you with, they're going to come towards you. The 10 of Wands is very like, it's, how can I explain that? It's the moment where somebody puts those burdens down and picks up that Ace of Wands and takes action. Even in this image, it's like this bag is supposed to represent a wand that this person is holding. So this person is going to put the burdens down and take action towards you. It also talks about a lot of affection. So this person is going to show you a lot of love and affection, but also stability. And again, would you rather have them come in with lots of affection? And I'm not talking about love bombing. I'm talking about this person showing you affection, showing you stability, showing you communication, showing you that they've healed. Or would you rather have them back right this second in their confused, distracted, unhealed state? So try and like shift your mindset when you're wondering what's taking so long, is what I'm hearing. 3 of Pentacles on the bottom. So this person does want to work things out with you. I'm just going to get one more for action. One more for action, please, Spirit. I thought I would have Ace of Swords, communication, truth, clarity. Yep. So just be patient. Queen of Pentacles, be patient. Look, 3 of Swords in reverse for actions. That's an apology. That's reconciliation. That's making amends. So it's coming. Just try not to let your ego get the best of you. And if you are feeling frustrated, like, why is it taking so long? Go do something else, right? I always say, like, it's that frustration. I compare it to watching a pot that you want to boil because you want to, like, I have things to do. I need this pot to boil so that I can make supper for my children and I can get on with my night. I need you to boil. Why aren't you boiling? Why are you taking so long to boil? I'm afraid that if I look away, it's going to start boiling when I look away. Sorry about that, like, burst of energy right there. But it's like that type of frustration. And like, if that's the frustration you're feeling, then go do something else while you wait for that pot to boil. Go do the dishes, or go have a bath, or take up a hobby, or watch a movie, or, you know, just stop watching the pot is what I'm hearing. Anyway, that was a really long reading. So I'm going to stop now. I'm going to stop, and I'm actually going to, first I'm going to get you a card to see what you need to surrender or what your person needs to surrender. Spending a little time in your person's energy, that was very intense. Like, I know that I can be an intense person, but I just felt like that's intense energy that they're in. Can I just say that? So what do you or your person need to surrender to? Surrender to your outdated beliefs about yourself. Letting go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past. Or let go. Then you can own your power and soar in your life. So I'm going to take that. Oh my gosh, Spirit, you are funny. Surrender procrastination, your person. Now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Taking action will attract more success. So if you believe you're in like a soul like type counterpart connection, just keep in mind what I'm saying about your person that they need to surrender. Try and look at your life where you are in the same type of energy, but not about this person. So like, what are you, like if your person is in like procrastination mode, what are you procrastinating about? What are you putting off? For me, it was like getting on my treadmill. And then this morning I finally got on my treadmill and I mentioned it in another reading. I had this really strange download about how if I wanted to, I would, and have that logic. Like I've wanted to get on my treadmill since before Christmas. And I've procrastinated and I've made every excuse in the book as to I'll do it tomorrow. I kept putting it off, kept putting it off, kept putting it off. So what in your life are you procrastinating? Are you procrastinating about your laundry? Are you procrastinating about starting your own channel? Are you procrastinating about some shadows that you need to heal or therapy or what are you procrastinating about? What outdated beliefs do you have about yourself? What limiting beliefs do you have? And we also have surrender to what is. And these are the cards that Spirit wants me to take. Surrender to what is. Flow with what is instead of fighting it. When you can't change a situation, like you can't make that pot boil, compassionately accepting it exactly as it is will bring you peace. So again, try and change the way you're looking at this, is what I'm hearing. And surrender worry, which it could be about your person, but now I know I said I was going to be done because, oh my gosh, I was not expecting this reading to be this long. Again, there's something about that. Like maybe you weren't expecting it to take this person this long to reach out to you, or maybe this person wasn't expecting it. Like I wasn't expecting I would still feel this way after all this time. I just want to get a few cards about what wounding could be within this connection because I did mention it. So we're just going to get a couple. And if you resonate with the wounding, then there's more information for you about your wound. If you feel triggered by what I'm saying, then it could be that I'm tapping into an unhealed wound you didn't know you had. And if you're not feeling triggered and it doesn't resonate, then it definitely belongs to your person. But Spirit, let's just see some of the wounding that could be layers in this situation, that could be layering this situation. I'm not going to take that, but I am going to take that. And one more. We have fear of future, and this makes total sense with your person. Needing to address the fear of the future will show up as anxiety, overthinking, and an overwhelming sense of uncertainty about what lies ahead. Your person had uncertainty in 2 different decks. This fear may manifest as a tendency to worry excessively about outcomes, making it difficult to take risks or move forward with confidence. I'm telling you. Magic. Envy wound. So this person could be envious of you. I love that came out because that describes this person's energy. Like, just to me, chef's kiss. Yes. Thank you, Spirit. Needing to correct an energy imbalance will show up as physical, emotional, or mental exhaustion, feeling out of sync or drained, and struggling to find motivation or clarity. May manifest as mood swings, chronic stress, fatigue, or sense of being overwhelmed. And remember, I talked about Six of Pentacles with your person. It's like they don't even have enough to give themselves right now, I don't think. So if they're in this energy imbalance, they would not be in the mindset that I can give to someone else, especially if they love you, right? We have forgiveness blockage. Will show up as holding on to past hurts, resentment, or anger, preventing emotional healing. It can create feelings of bitterness, a lack of peace, and difficulty moving forward. And that's what I try and tell people who make, like, when you're resentful towards this person or when you have that anger towards them, even if you don't want them back, it can block your energy. It can create feelings of bitterness within your soul, a lack of peace within your soul, and difficulty moving forward. And that means, like, if you really don't want like your person or your ex back, but you have this constant resentment and anger towards them, that can actually block you from moving forward in another connection. We have envy wound. Will show up as feelings of jealousy or resentment towards others' successes, possessions, qualities. It may manifest as comparing yourself to others, your person, feeling inadequate, or experiencing bitterness, often rooted in lack of self-worth or unmet desires. And we have identity crisis. Will show up as confusion or uncertainty about who you truly are, leading to a lack of direction or purpose. The fish. Hello, the fish. It may manifest as questioning your values, beliefs, and role in the world. I'm afraid we have too many different values. You could be very sure of who you are. And maybe this person has no idea who the hell they are. I'm seeing the fox in reverse now, unsure of identity, which makes the fox act in sneaky ways because they have no freaking clue who they are. Often triggered by major life transitions or a deep sense of disconnection from your authentic self. So their indecisiveness comes from a place, Queen of Swords, from not being their authentic self. Make sense? Anyway. I love what I do. I can't help it. And that's why I do 2 readings a day. That's why I do a reading whenever I'm called to, because I freaking love what I do. Anyway, I'm going to leave it here, my friends, but I am sending you lots of love and light, and I'm sending your person love and light too. And I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hang in there.